Hello, this is Andy with OMA Marketer. In today's video, we're going to show you how to create images in Canva for your high-level courses and client portal. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we need to do to create the images is we got to kind of show the lay of the land and go over the different images that we're going to create. To get started with our assets for our client portal and course, what we're going to need to do is we're going to create 5 different main images, and then the other images that we need are going to be a derivative off of that. Those 5 images that are very important are our mockup, our color palette, our thumbnail, our hero banner, and to start off with, the logo of our course. So the first one that I always like to start off with is, believe it or not, my thumbnail. You would think it would be the logo, but often I like the thumbnail, and I'm going to show you why. If you click on this, this is the thumbnail for our course. It's how to create a course in HighLevel. Now, here's the thing. When I created this, I didn't know where I was going to go, and I didn't know my color scheme or anything like that, but I knew that I needed a certain kind of look and feel. This is how I created it, using inspiration actually from Canva. So this is actually simpler than you think. So what I do is, and I'm going to just start off with a blank one here at the bottom, is I look through all the different imagery inside of Canva. I kind of see what kind of thumbnails they already have. I know that thumbnails are probably the most important part when I'm dealing with my course. So that kind of want to continue the theme actually from the thumbnail, and that's how I create my logo. So this is the one that I had chosen. It's very simple. And if you look at the ones above, they all kind of match that look and feel, but it's a lot different. I know that that's not exactly the words that I need. So I know that I'm going to get rid of the word live stream. I know I'm not going to use this image of myself. And what I'll do is I'll take the words and I'm going to change it into something else. It's kind of like in reverse. I'm going to show you how I searched for the particular kind of image I want to start off with for my logo. So if I go over here, I know it says how to create a course in GoHighLevel. I had that written down on a pad of paper. So it's create a. And then what I'll do, because I know I like to use often a different size, I'll just copy this, I'll paste it, I'll bring it right underneath, and I'll put the word course. And I know course is like my identifier word. It's the main word that I want to use. So I'll kind of click out of it, and I'll just expand it and make it the big word. It's how to create a course. Now it says free online course. I don't really need that. So I'm going to delete that. And I am going to add a little word in, just the word in. So I'll copy and I'll paste it. See how I'm using what they've already given me as inspiration? I'm not creating anything new. All I'm doing is using something that's already in there. And I'll put in the word in, just like that. And I'll resize it. And you know what? It's kind of big, kind of thick. Sometimes I'll even take the bold away to see if I kind of like the look and feel. In this particular font, it doesn't look like the bold does anything. So I'm just going to leave it as is. And then what I'll do, because I'm creating something for a specific course that I'm creating for HighLevel, is I'll get the logo for HighLevel. And it's really easy to get the logo. And this is for anything that you're teaching. You would just go to Google, you would type in HighLevel logo, which sometimes will not give you what you're looking for. In this case, it did. I'll go to images. I'll find the logo I'm looking for. In this case, I'm going to choose the black one here. Right click, and I'll copy the image. And by the way, you can do this with anything that has a logo that's outside of you that you're not creating. I'm going to go back. I'm going to paste it in here. And now I want to pull it out of this design. So I'm going to click Edit Image. And I'm going to go to background remover. And that's going to remove all that black area around it. If it was white, it would have removed the white area, anything like that. So it's very simple to use. And then I like to crop it so that I'm not dealing with this giant image. So I will bring it down in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll bring it up over here. I'll bring it side to side. And then I'll put it into position. Now, here's the thing.
Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here. But more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of HighLevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve, with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in HighLevel. We also have a VIP VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show.
I know that the people who are watching my videos are really into HighLevel. So what I do is I just resize that logo and kind of like make it the big focal point of what I'm trying to teach. Now, this is kind of the same process I did when I created these thumbnails up here. And as you can see, it's becoming a thumbnail. I'll then take it, and this is all jagged, moved all over the place. And I want to make sure everything goes to the left. So I'll select all of them. I'll hit this position and I'll move it over to the left. And then I'm going to bring it up and kind of put it in the middle. Oh, I forgot the word in. I hit Command Z, I put it back where it was. Choose the word in by holding down the Shift key and adding it to what my choices are and kind of put it in the middle. Now, as you can see, this is looking like a logo for a course. And then I'll kind of like, just as inspiration, I'll maybe move things into place a little bit. I'll take the images that's in the background and kind of adjust it. I did that by double clicking on it so I could grab the image. I could change the image however I want. And as you can see, I now have my thumbnail logo, but this isn't the logo that I'm going to use for my course. And I'll show you why. The reason is that the header of my course, you won't be able to see this. It's a little too tiny. So what we'll do, all right, is we are going to resize that. But before I do that, since I've created the thumbnail, I am actually going to show you how I did the inspiration, how I was inspired to figure out what image to use as my logo. So I'll start off with a fresh brand new design. And the way I do that is I'll open the menu, right click on the logo for Canva. I'm just going to open up a brand new screen and then create a design in the top right-hand corner. In this case, thumbnails, because that's what I use in order to be creative and find something to use for my logo, for my courses. So I'll type in YouTube thumbnail, because that is the same size that we use for our HighLevel courses, for those thumbnails. And what I'll do when I'm looking for something like this, because my business is tech, I will look for tech. Just type in the word tech. And I have all these different choices of ones to look for. And if I find one that I like this one, I can then just start adjusting it. Now, this would work for anything. So if I know I'm a real estate agent, I would type in real estate. If I'm teaching a real estate course, and I would find a real estate one that I like this one, and then I would just start eliminating parts that I don't need and creating my logo. I'll just grab it, position it, space it, and I'll just change this word to course. And that's very simplified, but believe it or not, right there, bang, I got a logo I can work with. And that's how I kind of like choose an image from thumbnails and turn it into a logo for my course. It looks very professional. Canva has great people who've designed all these templates for us. We might as well take advantage of it. Now, I personally have the Pro account, totally worth it. There's a link if you want to get Canva Pro in the description. I highly recommend it, but you can do a lot of this with their free version also. All right, so let's go back to my thumbnails. As you can see, I'm in my thumbnails right here, the one I just created with you earlier, and I just want to localize this as my logo. How do I do that? Very, very simple. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to hit on the logo here. And I've created a folder of all my courses and client portals right here. So what I'm going to do, believe it or not, is just clone it. I'm going to make a copy. And as you can see, it says copy of thumbnail, and I'm just going to jump into it. And I'm going to change the name to logo. Now, for our courses, the logo needs to be a square. So this is not going to work. So all I need to do is I'm going to just delete the parts that I don't need anymore. I'm going to use the one that's here at the bottom. And I'm going to make this into a square. I'm going to make it into a square by resizing it. I'll click resize. Now, I've already pre-added the dimensions, but you can choose your own dimensions by going custom size. And in this case, they're choosing 640 by 640. Personally, I like to double that. So I'll do 1280 by 1280, and that way we can make it smaller later on. Because I like a big logo, because HighLevel itself will bring that down to size. It's the dimension that's important. We need to make a box. We need to make a square. And I'll hit the purple continue button. After I've done that, it's gonna say to me, do you want to resize? In this case, it says 2 designs because I added this check mark by mistake. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna hit continue, and then it's going to give it to me, but it's all out of whack. So I'm going to have to readjust this after I resize the design. Not a big deal. So I'll resize the design, and then I'm going to choose the different parts, and I choose multiple parts by holding the shift key and then grabbing all the different parts. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up instead first, and then bring this up. And then I can hold the shift key and I'm going to grab multiple things. I'm not going to forget the word in this time. And I'm just going to make this bigger. Right here, I'm going to go edge to edge. Go in the space. I'm going to grab this little light blue thing, rectangle, and I'm just going to drag it into a corner. I'll drag it and make it long. And then I'll take this image in the area. And again, I'm just going to adjust it to kind of be there in the middle. Now this logo, as I'm looking at, is a little tight in the beginning. So I'm actually, personally, I'm just gonna drag this again, maybe tighten this up, make it a little smaller. I forgot the in again. So I hit Command Z and opened it up. I press Shift and grab it again. And I'm just gonna adjust it a little bit more. And now I have my square logo, which is what HighLevel is requiring. And now all I need to do is hit the share. And if you look here, it says download. I'm going to click on download, and I'm going to download this as a PNG. And that's going to be the logo for my course. Now that I've done that, I'm going to create my favicon. Now, a favicon is very, very small. So you can imagine a favicon is about, actually, it's even smaller than that. Really tight to see. A favicon is, for instance, this little C that we have here for Canva. We need to create that for our course also. Now at that size, nobody's going to be able to read these words. So for the favicon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out of this again, click on Canva, go back into my folder. And even though this is square now, it hasn't updated it as an image. So I wouldn't worry about what you see here because for some reason it doesn't update as quickly as we would like. I'll click on these three dots and I'm going to make a copy. And I am going to then enter into that copy. As you can see, it has the right dimension. And I'm going to change the word here to favicon. Favicon. Now, a good favicon is something that we can see really easily. So what I'm going to do, believe it or not, is I'm going to just eliminate all the words and eliminate this. And this is kind of like gonna be my square. Very, very simple. Maybe, you know what I could actually do? I could take inspiration from Canva, and maybe I'll just put a C there. Favicon doesn't have to be exactly what the course is about or anything, just so people can identify it. So since it's gonna be how to create a course, a C would work because the word course starts with a C. I'll take that, I'll make it nice, big, and chunky. I'm just expanding it. I can also, if I choose, position it in the center right there, and then just drag it into place. Now, if you notice in Canva, a little line comes up to show me when I'm centered, which is, believe it or not, very, very helpful. Now, as I make it smaller, that's very easy to see in the top left-hand corner up there. And that's going to be my favicon. So again, I just hit share, and I'm going to now download the PNG. But this time I'm going to do a little different. I'm actually going to reduce the size down to as far as they will let me go. 640, probably a little too big, but for our use will be absolutely perfect. So I'm going to click download, and now I have a favicon. All right, we're going to go back to home. We're going to go back to the portal and see how I was working in this before I started the video. If I hit refresh, it's all different now. Now my logo is appearing correct. My favicon hasn't updated yet, but it will eventually. The next thing I'm going to show you, though, is how to create a color palette. Now, a color palette is very important. You're going to need that in order to make sure that you have the right colors for the look and feel of your course. In order to do that, I'm going to open up either the thumbnail or the logo. In this case, I'll do the logo. And I'm going to add another page, a just plain white page. And I'm going to go over to Elements, and I'm going to click on this box right here, this shape. And I'm going to drop this shape into place. And I'm going to expand it and make it a strip so that I have it. Now, I know I usually use 4 colors, so I'm going to put that one into place. I'm going to copy it, Command C, and then Command V, Control C or Control V if you're using a Windows machine. And then I'm going to select both of them. And actually, I can copy and paste, or I can also use this duplicate, which is what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to drop it into place. Now, because I like to make things nice and clean and perfect, I can choose all these, and in position, I can space things evenly by hitting this right over here. A little perfect so I have it nice and easily presentable to whomever might be working on the course after me. Now I want to grab the colors from this design. The way that I do it is actually very, very simple. I click on, for instance, this back panel. Now here, this is an image. This is a little hard to just grab. So I downloaded a Chrome extension right over here called Colorzilla. And I take that Chrome extension and I click pick color from page. So I click on that and I get right on top of that color and I choose it. Now, as you can see, it's copied that color for me. Now, all I gotta do is drag into here, double click on it, and then click on this image right there. And I'm going to paste Command V, that color in there, and it's gonna give it to me. And now that color has become part of it. But I still want to use those numbers later on because I need to see the numbers to enter them into the settings area of my client portal or my course. In order to do that, I'll just type in the number. I'll click on it. I'll go to color picker panel or color special or something like that. And I'll just copy the number. And then I'm going to paste it in there. In this case, it's automatically was smart enough to make it white. Sometimes it might not. If you need to, you can choose all the letters, change the text color to whatever color that you want. And this one's ready to go. Now I need to get this light blue. Now the light blue is a little different because this was created just as a rectangle. So all I gotta do is click on it and then click on the dot and then get rid of the one that I had previously. And if you see here, that number is right there. If I click right here, I can copy that number. All right, so now I go down here, I choose the second choice, click on the dot again. It's right here, but I can also paste that number I have right there and put that color right there and then double click into it and put in the number. I always want to have that number. Now I know I want to have a gray also because gray is just something I use very often. So I'll click on the color, I'll X out of this. And if we go in here, we have all the different solid colors that Canva has for us. And this is nothing. There's a lot more to that. So I'll click on the light gray, but I know that that might not be good enough for me. So I'll click on here and I'm going to actually adjust this to make it even lighter. So I'll click on it and I'm going to just bring it up a little bit to make it a very faint light gray. Now, again, I need to get the number on that. So I'll just put my mouse over it. I'll double click. It's EF, EF, EF. I'll paste it. See how it's white? Kind of difficult to read. So I'll change that to black. Probably want to put the number sign in front of it like a good hex code. And finally, I often use white. I have it memorized, but white is all Fs. In order to do that, I'm just going to change this color to white. I like to throw a little line around it so I can actually see it. And I'll type in number FFFFFF and color it black. And now I have my color palette. And I'll just type in color palette here. Ooh, sorry. I'm not going to do that because that is my logo. We don't want to lose the logo that we created. So all I'm going to do is clone and delete. And I'm going to do that by going to the course area. I'll refresh this again. See if maybe it's updated. Oh, things have updated. You can see my favicon there. If I go into the logo, I'll make a copy. I'll take this one. I'll call this one color palette. And I'll delete the first page. And there's my color palette. And then I'll go the one that was logo and I'll delete the color palette. And now I have one that's a color palette over here and a logo right there. And if I go to my folder and I click refresh, it's going to take a little while, but believe me, the color palette will appear just like it does over on this one. All right, now that I've done that, I want to create my mockup. Now, a mockup may look difficult, but it's actually very easy to build. I've pre-created one right over here, but I'm going to show you how to add other elements to it so you can see how easy it is to make. I just click into it. I would create it. It would be just a square. And then I would go over to elements here. And all I need to do is type in frame. If I type in frame, I'm going to get all these different frames from Canva. If I go to see all, they have, as you can see right here, a desktop. They have a laptop over here. They've got some books, a pad that this is what I use for these pads over here. They should have a phone. If I type in frame and I put in mobile instead of iPhone, I can grab the phone that I used. Sometimes there's different kinds of phones. And all I got to do is just click on it. And it's going to come into my area and I'll be able to adjust it to the size that I want. And what's cool about it is this frame thing. So what we need to next do is get our thumbnail into this. Now we would have images of any documents. We would have images maybe of some videos. If the course was on a phone, it would be in here, but it's very simple and easy to create this. The way that we do that is this. We would go to our thumbnail. Click here. I'll open up my thumbnail and I'm just going to download all these thumbnails. I go to share. I go to download and it's going to download all 5 images into a zip folder. All right. Now I'm going to open up that folder and I'll just double click the zip file and go into the thumbnails and they're all right here. Now, all I need to do is I'm going to move this kind of over here. I'll go back into the mockups and I am dragging from here just into the document. And as you can see, it kind of overlays right on top, but the frames are really smart. What they do is they capture the image that you have and put them right into place. And now you can see it's on the laptop. Now I can take a picture or an element from any part of the imagery that I have and put them into these frames. So as an example, I would take myself, maybe I put myself into the phone. Not probably a perfect example, but it's something that I could use. If I just double click into this and I can adjust it with me pointing, I can then find an image of Nuno, drop him into right over here. Now, maybe I want to get rid of this green background. All I got to do is double click on the image, go to effects, remove the background, and then I could change the background, make it different colors. And here I will put images of any documents or anything like that I would have. As you can see, I've already pre-created this one too. Now, these will be available for you to download to use for yourself. I'll have a link in the description so you can download these mock-ups already pre-prepared. Of course, it won't have Nuno and I in it and this thumbnail. And when I'm ready, I'm going to download these images. But this is going to be a little different. Because I'm going to use these in my funnel, I don't want this gray background. In order to do that, I'm going to click share. I'm going to click download. And then I'm going to click transparent background. That's going to eliminate this gray in the background. So that way, color of the landing page that I create, that's going to be able to bleed through. And I'll just click download. And my mockups have been downloaded. And I just double click on the zip. I open it up. And as you can see, that image without any gray, it's only gray because it's in my file browser, is there. And actually the other one is in there too. So that is actually not the same gray. As you can see, that's a different gray than the other one, but it is transparent. Just to give you a little proof that it is, I'm just going to grab one of my other documents so that you can see it. You know what? I'll use this one. I'll create an add a page. I'll make this white. Actually, you know what? I'll make it gold. And I'm just going to drag that image in. And as you can see, there's no gray color because I did it as a transparent background. I'm just going to delete that. That was just as proof. All right, so that's ready to go. And I've created my mockup. But here's the thing about my mockup. My mockup has extra space up here and down there. And oftentimes on a page, I don't want it like that. I don't like it that way. I don't want extra space that I'm not creating. So I'm going to show you a trick to get rid of that. And it's very, very simple. All I got to do is go back to my home area of Canva. I go into the projects area. In the projects area, I can go to images. Now, this is the transparent one that I just created. If I want to add another one, all I got to do is drag the file right in and it'll upload right to it. Now, here's a really cool thing that you can do. You can click on the image and a special window pops up. You can click crop and size it however you like so that you can eliminate all that white space. All right. And when I'm done, I just click done. And it gives me the ability, when I click save, to download the image. And now I download the image with a little bit of a weird file name, mind you. And in that image is completely cropped. Easy to use inside of my funnel. I'll just rename that cropped mockup. All right, so that's ready to go. Now there's one final thing that I need to create for my course. My course needs a hero banner. Now a hero banner is above the display on a course. I'm going to show you a course right now so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is a hero banner. This hero banner right now just has pencils inside of it. It's hard to see it, but it's actually a pencil. And I don't want to use something like this. In order to make it different, all I got to do is create that banner. And they give me a very specific dimension to do that with. Those dimensions for the hero banner are 1600 by 350. And I'm going to show you using the thumbnail how I created this one. In order to do that, all I got to do is, again, I'm going to copy my thumbnail. I'll make a copy. I'm going to click into it. In this case, I'm going to rename it Hero Banner 2. And I'm going to just delete all these, except for the bottom one, again. And then I'm going to resize it. I'll click resize. I'll go to custom resize. I'll type in this 1600 by 350. Make sure that only one this time is checked. There we go. And uncheck this one. Oh, it's already preset up. So it's actually the same thing. Hit the purple continue. And then I'm going to resize this design. And because I just want the banner, I'm going to eliminate all the words, because we never know what's going to be in front of it. In this case, it would be a title like Funnelbrick's Full AI Bot Suite. So let me go back into this. I'll delete the logos. I'll adjust. Again, there's always a lot of adjusting in Canva. I'm going to make this right into the center. This looks pretty good there, but again, I can double click and I can move the image however I like. And now I have my hero banner, and that's ready to run. Now, all I need to do is download all these images and add it to my course. And that's how you create all of your images for your courses inside of GoHighLevel. If you like this video and you like the content that we're creating, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.